All right, let's get this over and done with. I finally got back my business license application after 3.5 months from the Parks and Wildlife Service. Now, in all fairness, they did have to invent this based off the media backlash and the videos that myself and Levi Trifford had put out about the way that they'd investigated us and tried to take us down on some phony law from 2002. However, they have invented a new creator policy. I was the guinea pig, and this is the first one ever issued. Now, the rules that are outlaid in this are absolutely insane and would never work for the content that I create. First of all, the owner of this business license holder must remain on constructed roads and or tracks on the land at all times. So for me, who spends 99% of his time going off track, that would be the end of me right there. On top of that, the business license holder must ensure that there is no overnight camping outside of designated camping sites. So these are like your little tent platforms that parks probably have on some of their walks. I think I've seen one or two in my time. Along with this, it's very evident that they're super clear on wanting to keep people out of a lot of these reserves that aren't making them money, because even with this business license, filming or photographing any of these approved tracks designated T3 in the document titled Commercial Visitor Services Walking Track List would forfeit the license. Now, these are bloody awesome tracks. And I did a quick little bit of research, and it's amazing how much Discover Tasmania has actually promoted these places, like Lake Rona. Even Parks and Wildlife Service have promoted Lake Rona on their Instagram. Mount Anne, which is a very fragile, complex vegetation, they're advertising that on Discover Tasmania. Basically, all of this stuff you will find online, and it's done by the main tourism board of Tassie. So for these conditions to apply to a solo operator, but not the major tourism corporations, to me, it seems just a little bit unfair. I'm not sure if you guys think the same. I'd love if you could leave a comment below and let me know what you reckon about that. There's also heaps of other conditions to do with certain national parks. And really, to top it all off, I think it's just insane that the delegates who signed off on this couldn't even get the date, the month, or the year right on both forms that they signed. Like, that to me just says how competent this department really is, and it's not much. But overall, I thought, you know what, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we can meet in the middle. This is an offer. All I need is the ability to go off track and to camp in non-designated sites, and then I'll agree to it, because that's not a big deal. Anyhow, they came back to me with a very firm no that that would not be allowed. So basically, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. The only option that I have is to continue to make videos in their reserves, as I was for the previous 5 years, but not with a view to monetary gain. So exactly like I said before, they cannot stop me as a hobby videographer creating content in their reserves. Now, if you were to decide to support me doing that through videos like this and videos that I shoot on forestry, then you would be allowed to do so, and they would have no legal ties to me gaining financially from working in the reserves that they manage. So if you want to do that, there's a link to my Patreon below. I think this is the only way that I'm going to be able to continue making content in the way that I believe is the best way for me to make content, and the only way that I really know how, which is just to continue having adventures and exploring. And if that means reverting my rights back to a standard Tasmanian civilian instead of somebody who is a business license holder, then please take the leash away from my neck. I'm more than happy to do that. That's about it, guys. Let me know what you guys think of these insane conditions below. I won't be long until they start rolling this out publicly, I'm sure. But yeah, good luck with the parks.